Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Ariana. I post a little bit of everything from lifestyle to fashion and such as everything in between that I do. So again, I post a little bit of everything, but if you are coming back to my channel, welcome back. Before I get into today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I post my videos every Sunday, so definitely hit that bell so when I post these videos, you get the notifications. And thank you for your continued support. And let's get into today's video. So today, I'm actually really excited about doing this video. As you can tell by the name of the title, I went apartment hunting in Dallas, Texas. And it was very tricky to, find place this time of year. My lease is ending in September, mid-September, September 13th to be exactly. And I am not continuing to stay in my studio apartment, which I'll be a little sad about, but I'm really excited about, being in my next place. So I'm really excited to show you guys the places that I looked at and things of that nature. And so I went ahead and started maybe a little bit early in my apartment hunting process, but for me, I like to look a little bit early and then go on tours just so I can kind of have a list of places that I like and make it just a little bit easier because, looking at different apartments, seeing where you could possibly live and those things, it definitely excites me, but it's so many options, especially living in a city like Dallas. And so I'm really excited to show you guys these apartments. I was a little bit nervous, of course, because the cost of Dallas is a lot more expensive than it used to be. And so it's definitely hard to find places in my budget that I really like and has all these things that I like. And so, but I was able to find something, and yeah, I'm really excited about showing you guys what I've looked at. And maybe this will kind of help you guys get an idea of how much apartments are in Dallas. If you're staying in Dallas, you're thinking about moving to Dallas, all that good stuff. So I'm hoping you guys like these. And let's get into like the requirements that I was looking for in my apartment. Now for my apartment, I knew I had a specific budget that I was working with. And so I knew there were some things that I was gonna have to bend on just to make sure I got a lot of what I did need. So one of my first requirements that I was looking into were studios and 1-bedrooms. I currently stay in a studio now, and I wouldn't mind staying in another one or a 1-bedroom. So I kept my options open to studios just because you can get, it's a little bit cheaper, and so you can, do a lot more and things like that. And I've actually liked staying here. This is probably like one of my favorite apartments that I've lived in so far. So I had a good experience here, so I wouldn't mind living in another studio. So that was the first requirement that I had. My second requirement for me was to make sure there was wash and dryer in unit. I feel like rent is already expensive. Nobody wants to go to a laundromat, so wash and dryer had to be included in the unit. My third requirement for the apartment was it had to feel like home. So for me, I wanted something to feel like home. I wanted to really like this place. As someone who works from home, I feel like I really, really need to love it since I'm here a vast majority of my time, not just living here, but also working here. So I wanted it to feel homey in a place where I would be comfortable to do my work. My fourth requirement was it couldn't be on the first floor. As someone who stays by myself, I don't do apartment buildings on the first floor, so that was another requirement for me. Fifth, it had to be a little bit more on the modern side. No, it did not have to be something that was built yesterday, but I did want something that had at least like stainless steel appliances, but something that still I felt like was worth my money and things like that. So that was another thing that I was interested in my apartment. My next requirement for my apartment was my budget. The budget I am not going to budge on. I feel like even the budget that I had was kind of crazy saying it out loud, but I mean, that's just the cost of living for an apartment these days. So yeah, budget was something I was not going to, go above or anything like that. And the budget that I wanted to stay at was $1,600 and below. Even saying that loud is crazy, but I think for what I'm looking for and what I want, I think I can manage, or again, still try to bend on some things, but $1,600 was the budget we were working for. So basically, just to refresh, I wanted a studio, 1-bedroom, something 1600, something with it's a little bit on the modern side, but not too modern, but something, you know, nice. I also wanted laundry in unit just because it's already expensive already. And then 5, I just wanted to make everything feel like home since I work from home. So that's all the talk about what I was looking for and things like that. But I know you guys are ready to get into these tours, so let's get started. So the first apartment that I saw, I did a self-guided tour. I just feel like sometimes when I'm touring with somebody, I feel a little bit rushed. And so I wanted to make sure that I can like get my video in, but also make sure that I could like really look at the place and like really like look at it, you know? So that was my thing with the self-guided tour. It was kind of awkward a little bit because I only could review this one unit. So that was kind of the downside of it, but it kind of gave me a little bit of an idea. But I still wish I could have seen like actual units that I was actually interested in. But I'm gonna show you this unit that I liked as well. So the first unit we're going to have is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. This was actually pretty close to me as well. So when you first come in, it's a little storage closet right here. And it's the trash can that comes with the unit. So a little closet is right here. And then you have like this pretty long hallway where there's like the maintenance closet. And then right here, you come across the wash and dryer. All of the units have the wash and dryer, and it is a stackable. And it has some little storage on the side, so you can also kind of utilize that as well. So that was a plus for me. And then you come into this main area where it's the living room and kitchen. I really did love all the lights and from the windows coming in. I think it brings a lot of natural light, and it kind of, this unit really did have a pretty view, even though it was on the first floor. She did say they had other units, but this is the typical size of all the patios, which I thought was pretty nice size for this apartment as well. And so that's a great touch to kind of have here in the unit. And then you have like this TV area, and then you have the beautiful kitchen. So the kitchen was really one of my favorite parts of the unit. I did like the brown and the white cabinets. I think that makes it look pretty nice. And as you walk into the kitchen, there's a lot of storage underneath the island, and the island is very big. So you can definitely like entertain here or something. Like when you have friends over, it's really nice and kind of makes it feel a little bit homey to me. And then you kind of have the hallway right here, and then the bedroom starts right here. It's a pretty good sized bedroom. There's a lot of light in here. I don't need too big of a room, so this is fine. And then the bathroom has 2 entrances, one from the bathroom and then one from the hallway. So nobody has to go through your room. You have this big mirror, and then you have a tub, which I prefer a tub. And then you have this really big closet. So definitely a lot of space. You can probably put like a dresser in here too if you wanted to, but this unit was pretty spacious to me and pretty big overall, and I really did like this. So we already kind of started off to a good start. So the next unit you guys are going to see is from the same property. I actually toured 3. They actually had 3 different units in my price range, so this was pretty great. So this apartment is also near me. I've always heard a lot of great things about it, and it piqued my interest. And so just looking at the prices, just having 3 units that were still in my budget was like really great. So I definitely wanted to tour these. Now this unit, they had studios and 1-bedrooms. So I looked at a studio floor plan, and then I looked at 2 1-bedrooms. But these were some of my favorite. This is probably one of the favorites that I toured so far. So this is the first unit of the 3 that I saw in this building. This is going to be the studio. So all the bathrooms come with this big LED light, which I really loved. And they all came with either a stand-in shower or a tub. It just depends on the unit that you choose. So you have the maintenance closet. And then in this area here, you have the stackable wash and dryer. So that comes in every unit, which is a plus for me. And then you have this closet. I feel like for the studio, the closet is pretty big. It's definitely bigger than what I have now. So I did like the size of the closet. And then as you leave in the hallway where the closet is, you come into the studio. So the studio is one big room. You get this giant, beautiful kitchen with the table. The table can be moved as much as you like, which is a pretty cool thing. I did like the fullness and the openness of it. So she was telling me how you could have it set up in the unit. But even though it's a smaller studio, I did actually really like it. And then it came with a patio as well. So this unit was really pretty to me. So this is the second unit I saw. So this one is going to be a 1-bedroom. So I saw 2 1-bedrooms. They both have the LED lights and the stand-in showers. So I did like that as well. You have this shelving in the beginning of the apartment. And then this is the bedroom, but this one does not have any windows in here. So to me, it was giving like a soft loft, since it didn't have that, and they were making it go into a 1-bedroom. This one right here was over 700 square feet. The closet was pretty nice. It was a big, spacious closet. However, this was definitely a soft loft to me, just because this didn't have windows, kind of like my current apartment right now. But I did actually like it, so it wasn't a bad thing. And then once you start to leave out of the room, you have the whole living room area. So there's the living room area, so there are windows and a lot of space. It's actually very big living room. And then you have like this really beautiful kitchen. Like, this is probably one of the best kitchens I've probably seen, and the island was just massive. Like, they really outdid themselves with like the quality of this apartment, and I really love this one. This one also came with a stackable wash and dryer as well, near the kitchen, but this was definitely a beautiful unit, I must say. This is the last unit of this apartment complex that I looked into. This was their smaller 1-bedroom. It has the same island that you can adjust. That's basically a table. You have this closet where you can have some storage. And then the maintenance closet is next to it. And then this is your wash and dryer that comes in the unit, as in all the units. So still another good unit. The kitchen was very cute. I did like the kitchen. And then the living room was very big. It was a weird shaped one, but I actually liked it. It was very spacious. You can even put your desk here, and I really like that just because I do work from home. So it's nice to kind of see how this was staged for the apartment. Certain apartments, this one had a patio as well. And then it has like a little hallway, and then you go into the bedroom. So this bed in here, she said, was a king size, so that gives you an idea of the bedroom. I also thought the closet was pretty spacious as well. So you definitely wouldn't have a problem with storage in your closet in here, because it's literally huge. And then as you leave out of the bedroom, you have the bathroom right next to it, stand-in shower, LED mirror, nice size cabinet space and things as well. And it also had the black finishes, which I really liked. And honestly, that was really one of my favorite apartments in the of all the ones. They were just so nice. The studios end up starting at like $1,425, and then the 1-bedrooms went up to like the mid $1,500, like $1,550 and up. So they were different prices, but they didn't have any like weeks free or anything like that. So it was nice and things like that. But my favorite was the first and third units. I thought those were just really cool, and I thought the studio was really nice. Even though it's a little bit smaller than what I have now, I would still live there. I would give it a thumbs up. So I really did like it. So the next apartment that I looked at is actually a new construction. Like, they had just opened, and so they were actually having specials. So if you applied and you got approved for an apartment, it was 6 weeks free. And I think there was like, if you apply within 48 hours, you get an additional 2 weeks free. So it was like 8 weeks free altogether, and you were able to kind of like split it through the months of your lease. So it brought the prices down really by a good bit, like a couple $100s. So in this apartment complex, I actually toured 2 units. I toured a studio and I toured a 1-bedroom. So the first one we're going to see is the studio apartment. So as you come in, this is the bathroom. It has the big mirror, decent space on the counter. This one had a tub. This closet had like the different shelving, and it had like some like cabinets in there, which was pretty cool. So nice size closet for a studio. You had your mud room, I believe that's what it's called, at the beginning. And on your left, you had the storage closet. So you had some storage there. And then on the other side of the hallway, you had your wash and dryer in the unit, which is pretty good. This studio was basically one big room. So you had the queen size bed to the side in the living room, natural light. It was like an alleyway kitchen, I believe is what it's called. So again, just one big room, but I did like how they had it spaced out, and it definitely gave me a lot of an idea of how the kitchen and everything is structured in here. So really nice studio in my personal opinion. So this is the 1-bedroom in the same apartment complex that we see here. So it has the U-shaped kitchen. It has the dishwasher and things. On that side is the washer and dryer right there. This was also staged, so good sized living room, lots of light. You had a little mini hallway, and then you go into the bathroom. So 2 entrances, one from the room and one from the hallway. This one came with a tub as well. Nice sized closet, so plenty of room. And then a little medicine cabinet. And then you have the bedroom here. So this was a queen size bed. Lots of natural light in here too as well. So it was still a good, nice size of a unit. And I actually did like this one as well. The studio ran for $15.95, but it went, again, it was 8 weeks free, so you could have divided it off. So I think it took like 2 something off. So it was really about like 13 something a month, which was pretty cool. And then the 1-bedroom was a little bit more. It was actually like $1,700 at the time, but with everything, I think would have gone to like 14 or 15 something. So it still would have been in my budget. But I did like these. They were newly built. I think they had like maybe like 3 people were moving in like within the hour, and then they had like more people. So this was like a brand new community as well. So I thought it was really nice. This next set of apartments is from the same place. So I looked at 2 units. I looked at a studio and I looked at a 1-bedroom. This was also a new construction. They had not moved in anyone in yet. But at the time I looked at these apartments, they only had 4 residents at that time. So this was like brand spanking new. It was a little bit further out of the city. But I did want to still look at it because they also had specials. So they gave, if you signed a longer lease, such as like a 15-month lease, you got 6 weeks free. And then I believe if you did a look-in lease, then you would get an extra additional 2 weeks free. So you were able to get 8 weeks free in total. So this is going to be the studio apartment we're seeing first. So this door right here will go into your bathroom. So this unit has a stand-in tub. Please forgive me for the quality of this video because I was just speaking to the leasing agent. But you get a stand-in shower, you get your big mirror and things like that here, good storage. And then across from the bathroom is your closet, which is pretty small. And then on the left, you have the stackable wash and dryer as well, which is really good. And they come in all units. And then that's just the maintenance closet. So this studio was one big room, but I did like the kitchen in the unit as well. So it's one big room, but I did like it, and I thought it was pretty nice. Still being built, but I definitely saw the potential in this place. This is the same building, just a different unit. So this is the 1 bedroom. So this had like an L-shaped kitchen with the island, which I really love this one. I love the brown cabinets. It had like some shelving. Also with the stackable wash and dryer. With these units, some had patios, some didn't. But if you didn't have the patio, you had these big mirrors, which either or I would have been fine. So this is basically a view of the outside. They are still going through construction, and of course I wore a hard hat at this one. Never did a hard hat tour, but good community, and I loved all the lighting that did come in here. You had the hardwood floors, and then there was carpet in the bedroom. The carpet was the room was a bit small, but I still loved it, and I loved the lighting in the room. And then you had your bathroom. So this unit had a stand-in shower, which I thought was really beautiful, and it had a really nice size closet as well. So the unit was very nice. I did like it. So yes, that's all the apartments that I have for you guys today. I'm really wanted to show you guys these because I had this coming up, and so I really like seeing these type of videos myself. So I wanted to make one for anybody who maybe is interested in moving to Dallas, and maybe get like an idea of what the budget of like $1,600 or under looks like. But I'm going to end my vlog here. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support me through my journey of just my moving vlogs and everything else that I have coming up. I'm really appreciative of all your support here. Definitely like this video, comment down below what apartment you guys liked or what you thought of them. I'm definitely interested to hear your opinion, so definitely, you know, comment and like the video as well. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I post my content every Sunday, and definitely subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more moving vlogs coming up that I am ready to film for you guys and show you guys. So definitely subscribe, and then hit the bell at the top, so when I post my videos, you get those notifications. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.